Currently it's 3, so at the moment I owe you $1 unless 2 more get broken. But there have been broken boards because we got this big hurricane swell, this south swell from Hurricane Genevieve starting to kick through. But we've also still got these smaller west swell sets.
Here we go, surf fans, straight into it. It's the semifinals, the Lexus U.S. Open of Surfing, presented by Pacifico World Longboard Tour. Let's kick things off with a classic HB pier shooter. That's right. We got J.Van Wagoner, we got Declan Wyton, we got a pier already being ridden through. You got Chris Cote, we got Sam Blakely. There's something for everybody happening right now, live from Huntington Beach. Sam taking him through some heavies of this sport. Let's take a look back at why this wave was an 8-point ride.
So on his Steve O'Donnell board, straight to the 5, and then he runs back to the middle of the board, cross steps forward just to keep that board nice and trim as he comes back to the open face. And at this stage now, he's going to go back on rail and then using that drop knee cut back and slicing through and just touching the foam there, but a little bit of drive off the foam into a high line with 4 steps into a really nice 10. And at that moment, he's got complete poise. He's able to drop that upper body, those hands down, and now has some variety on that turn. So you saw the drop knee, and then you saw, more of the kind of like real gouging cut back, and then he goes into a nice little float here, and he's got the rhythm all the way to give it one more tap of the foam onto the inside. So I think what really kind of separated that up into the excellent range and those really good rail turns and some variety in the 2 dynamic rail turns, Chris.
The kid is back on the escalator. Straight to the outside, whips it around. That wave is not going to be a keeper at the end of this one. Got a lot of time left. There's plenty of waves going through, but maybe he should be worried because Dylan is back at it again. It's pretty safe to say that we know the strategy that Dylan's imploring right now. Just ride everything because he knows there's going to be so many chances for him.
He's wanting to not leave anything to chance. And again, out of priority, he's finding another nice shaped wave, Cote.
Go for it. Entertain us. Great nose ride. Almost loses it coming down, but adding just a little drama. And there's that extended drop knee turn. I really like the look of how he does those turns. They just kind of have a little extra on them, how he extends his arms and his knees, that wider stance, drops the knee. This looks really cool, and the judges agree. They've already dropped a huge score for Declan, so I feel like that's going to be a solid backup. It's just so rad when you pull up to a marquee log spot. Yeah, but watch out, Declan straight to the nose, trying the hang 10 floater, which is a really rare maneuver. Didn't quite come down with it.
But
way into the lead, though.
So here we can see now Van Wagoner answering back, and patience maybe is going to start to play off for the Carlsbad surfer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad to see Jack just starting to go on a ton of waves. There's 18 minutes, so a lot of time left, and
he knows that the surfing's there. He's just got to get the waves. This looks strong for Declan, a really big one.
Back at it, straight to the nose, nearly free falling. Come on. That was radical. We knew that as the swell increased, the floaters were going to get sketchy, and that's about as sketchy as I've seen yet, and I'm here for it.
Life depended on it. He could have kind of landed that, but he knew it would have been unsafe for his ankles, his knees, and his board. Just at that stage, he's thinking, you know what, I'll just let this slice into the water. There's the touch of the 5, big heavy drop, and then look at him just driving on that toe side there, and almost loses his balance, just widens his stance, and then at this stage he just knows that that's just not a keeper. Pressure's on. I mean, this is a smaller one. It needs to have some space on the face for him to really showcase those critical nose rides.
He's up on the nose with an extended nose ride, 5 to 10, and a big snap, and he rides out clean.
Yes.
Jack's back, folks. That was a sick ride.
I'm feeling that, Cote. That was strong. I mean, and it came off the back of strategy. He headed towards middles to find that. He sets a high line, and he knows he needs something critical, and he waits, and then he pounces, and he streaks into a 10, and then at this stage here, he widens his stance, he drives that big float, and he comes out with so much clean control and composure. 8-1-0, very big score, but look at the degree of difficulty in this 10. Just leans into that 5, and then at this moment hovers and lifts on his Michael Taki arm right there as he walked back. As we can see live action, a searing drop knee top turn from Declan Wyton.
Yeah, Declan just grabbing the attention back. We're still shook up from what we just saw from Jack, but that was a really nicely surfed wave for Declan. If you're thinking about numbers right now, the excitement level of Jack's wave, the snap at the end, To me, that was pretty similar to what we saw, from Connie on his biggest score.
Now a 7.51 needed for Jack Van Wagoner, but we get to appreciate this 7 straight to a touch on his Steve O'Donnell board there, kind of gets the 5. But look at this searing turn. This is the new Delta 9.4 roundtail that he's been working on, and it allows that type of surfing, the driving drop knee top turn where it just comes right back down and comes off the bottom. And again, looking for this kind of foam section, you can just see the acceleration and then the use of all of the contours of the wave and the use of his footwork to cross step back forward. And at this stage here, when we caught up with the live action Cote, the body language to kick a board out like that. But then if you look in comparison to the US judge there, the 8 and the 7.8, much closer in range, but it's the average taken. You take the highest and the lowest scores, and then you create the average from the remaining 3. So, that's why we sometimes get those strange numbers like a 0.83 or a kind of 0.67. But it's extremely close, and Jack's just got to stay active, but he's also got to be sensible with use of priority in these last few minutes.
So Jack gets on the nose. Nice float. Looks like some room to work. So
nice.
Far, so good on this wave. Cool cutty. Cross-stepping. One more 5. Okay. Nice cross-stepping through the cutback. Gets on the nose again.
Oh, yeah.
Leaving no stone unturned on that wave. Jack likes it.
Here's the replay. There's the 5. Pulls in for the 10. Through the section on the 10. Great footwork. Back to the tail. And then a really nice floater functionally driving through that section and then cutting back into the pocket and getting another high line for a quick touch of the 5 in that case, but then very fast with his footwork again for a 3rd nose ride clean on the sand. So he's chasing a 7.51. This wave now from Declan, different shape, more peaky than that kind of long tapered wave that we just saw from Van Wagoner. But wow, that did look like a good end point, and he may have had something exciting out back, Chris.
Yeah, he seems excited.
There it is.
He's been super consistent.
Touched it out.
Borderline relentless out in this heat, which is cool.
But look at his rail work. He loves to finish flamboyant, and we saw that. In fact, we heard that. We heard Tully emphasize how at Manly, on the northern beaches, he's got a lot of self-confidence at, hitting those end sections with flair. And that's exactly what he's been doing on every ride. And I really like this, but I'm pretty confident that Jack's going to drop a very strong score. He will be just wishing that there was a bit more size in that. But is he going to have a chance, Cote?
He's got a chance. He's straight to the nose in the whitewater. So pretty dramatic start to this wave.
Amazing.
Gets the cutty. Wave collapses around him. Body language tells us that he doesn't think there's enough. Declan Wyton takes out Jack Van Wagoner. Great finish for Jack, but Declan, first finalist here at the 2026 Lexus US Open of Surfing. Can't wait to see what happens next.
That's right, so deserving. Declan, it has been extremely tough to break into the excellent range this whole event. How validating is it to hear that 8-point ride come through for you?
Yeah, that means a lot. Like, the scores are kind of what you want. If you can get 2 8s, and even if you lose, at least your surfing's there, and then you can take that on. But I've felt super grindy the whole way through, whether it's been the waves or what. I had been stuck in the 6s for ages. Got 1.7 the other day that I kind of got lucky with, and that felt like I know what to do to get the scores, and I feel like I can get there, and that 8 meant a lot.
I definitely think you're being hypercritical of yourself because your heat totals have been impressive. But talk to me about surfing against Jack. You guys are going back and forth. It was a highly competitive heat.
Yeah, he's been like kind of the guy to beat. I mean, once you beat Taylor here, you're the guy to beat. So he's been getting such good scores, and he needed an 8-1 for ages, and I'm like, he's going to get it. He got the 7.5, and I was kind of watching from behind, going, it's right there, and it was just under. And he was never out of it at any point in that heat. So super stressful, but happy to just sneak through.
And happy to see yourself in a final again. It's been since 2023 at Bells. You came second there. What's it going to take the win?
Yeah, that was. I mean, the first final, I think I was just frothing to get there, and I felt like job done. And then it's funny, I was aiming for a semi here. I mean, everyone aims to win, right? But if I got a semi here, I'd be happy. And then you get to the semi and you're like, oh, no, I'm not that happy yet. You kind of just won. It's always just there. So, yeah, I mean, I still feel like it's bit of a cliche, but like job not done, you know. I really want to win, and hopefully we can. We'll see who we get. These guys are so gnarly, so we'll see how we go.
I love it. Hungry for one. Good luck in the final. We've got action to catch up on. Send it back to